Deep in the heart of Africa, there lived a magnificent lion named Asher. His roar echoed across the savannah, a sound that instilled both awe and fear in the hearts of all who heard it. Asher was a symbol of strength, his presence a comfort to the villagers who lived within his territory. They called him king, for he protected them from harm and ensured their prosperity. They brought him offerings of their finest harvests, a symbol of their respect and gratitude. Asher accepted their offerings with a regal air, his powerful presence radiating throughout the village. He was a magnificent creature, his mane a golden crown, his eyes glowing embers of strength. The villagers looked upon him with pride and reverence, their hearts filled with the security his reign provided. Their children grew up hearing tales of Asher's bravery, his name synonymous with courage and power. Life in the village thrived under Asher's watchful gaze. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, their crops flourishing under the African sun. The children played without fear, their laughter echoing through the air. Asher's presence was a silent promise, a guarantee of peace and prosperity. Asher patrolled his territory with a king's confidence. His roar resonated across the plains, a powerful reminder of his dominion. He was the guardian of his people, a symbol of strength and security in a world often defined by uncertainty. His reign was a time of peace and abundance, a testament to the power of a true king. Time, however, marches on for all creatures, even kings. Asher, once the epitome of strength, began to feel the weight of his years. His once lustrous mane thinned, its golden strands replaced by streaks of silver. His mighty roar, once a symphony of power, now came out as a raspy whisper. The villagers noticed their king's decline. Fear crept into their hearts, replacing their once unwavering confidence. The offerings dwindled, replaced by worried whispers and anxious glances. They feared for their king, but even more so, they feared for their own safety without his powerful protection. Asher felt his strength fading, the fire of his youth replaced by the embers of old age. He was no longer the mighty lion who could single-handedly chase away hyena packs or challenge rival prides. His once sharp claws dulled, his once powerful limbs trembled with fatigue. The weight of his responsibility pressed upon him, heavier than ever before. He watched his reflection in the watering hole ripple with the wind. Gone was the image of the fearless king, replaced by a weary, aging lion. Despair settled upon him, a heavy cloak of sadness enveloping his heart. He felt like a failure, unable to fulfill his duty, his strength ebbing away with each passing sunrise. One day, a wise old tortoise named Mosi ambled into the village. Mosi had seen the rise and fall of many seasons, his wisdom etched into his ancient shell. He had lived long enough to understand that true strength lay not in physical prowess, but in wisdom and compassion. Mosi observed the villagers' fear and understood the source of their anxiety. He sought out Asher, his slow, deliberate movements belying the wisdom he carried within him. He found the aging lion by the riverbank, his once proud head hung low. "Great king!" Mosi greeted, his voice a low rumble. "I see a shadow of despair upon your heart." Asher, startled by the unexpected visitor, raised his head slowly. He looked upon the tortoise, his eyes filled with weariness and doubt. "You are not alone in your struggle," Mosi continued, his gaze steady and reassuring. "True strength, my king, lies not in the sharpness of your claws or the power of your roar, but in the wisdom you carry within your heart." Section 4. Memories of True Strength. Asher's brow furrowed, his aging mind struggling to grasp the tortoise's words. He had always equated strength with physical power, his ability to protect his pride, his territory, his people. The concept of wisdom as strength was alien to him, a foreign land he had never explored. Mosi, sensing the lion's confusion, continued, "Remember, my king, the times when your strength truly protected your people." Asher's mind raced back through the years, recalling countless battles fought and won. He remembered the fear in the eyes of his enemies, the awe in the eyes of his pride. But then, a different memory surfaced, a memory not of brute force, but of quiet strength. He remembered a terrible drought that had plagued the land, leaving the villagers and animals alike on the brink of starvation. He had used his strength then not to fight, but to lead his pride in digging for water, uncovering a hidden spring that had saved them all. He remembered the young cub, separated from its mother during a fierce storm. He had found the whimpering cub, lost and afraid, and carried it back to the safety of its den, the warmth of his body shielding it from the storm's fury. Section 5. A King's New Roar. A wave of understanding washed over Asher. He realized that Mosi was right. True strength lay not in physical power, but in compassion, in using his wisdom and experience to guide and protect his people. He had spent so long focused on his fading physical strength that he had forgotten the power of his heart, the strength of his wisdom. He rose to his paws, his movements slow but purposeful. He looked out at his territory, his kingdom, with new eyes. He saw not just the land he protected, but the community he nurtured. He saw the fear in their eyes, but also the hope, the unwavering belief in their king. He let out a roar, a sound that echoed through the savannah. But it wasn't the earth-shattering roar of his youth. It was different, softer yet somehow stronger. It was the roar of a leader, a protector, a king who ruled not by fear but by love and wisdom. The villagers looked up, startled by the sound. They had grown accustomed to their king's silence, the absence of his once mighty roar. But this roar, though different, filled them with a strange sense of comfort, a reassurance that their king, though changed, was still there for them. Section 6. The Legacy of Asher the Wise. From that day forward, Asher's reign took on a new meaning. He emerged from his self-imposed isolation, his heart filled with a newfound purpose. He gathered his villagers and spoke to them, not with the commanding roar of a dictator, but with the gentle wisdom of a grandfather. He shared his stories, his experiences, his mistakes, and his triumphs. He taught them the importance of unity, of cooperation, of looking after one another. He showed them that true strength lay not in might, but in compassion, in wisdom, in the courage to lead with their hearts. Asher's transformation resonated throughout the village. The villagers, inspired by their king's example, began to see their own strengths. They learned to rely on each other, to share their burdens, to celebrate their victories together. The village, once shrouded in fear, blossomed with new life, its people united by their shared purpose. Asher, once feared for his roar, was now loved for his wisdom. He ruled for many more years, his reign a testament to the enduring power of compassion and unity. And when his time finally came to an end, he was mourned not just as a king, but as a father, a teacher, a beacon of wisdom in a world desperately in need of light. His legacy lived on, not in the echoes of his roar, but in the hearts of his people, a testament to the enduring power of a king who ruled by the heart.